Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled monthly meeting of the Alabama Public Service Commission. For the record, the public was notified of today's meeting by notice dated November the 12th, 2025. We welcome you, and we especially welcome some special guests in the audience this morning. We have Chip and Teresa Beaker, and we're glad to see you, Mr. Beaker. Of course, they're the parents of Chris Beaker, our very own. And Mr. Beaker, you served up here many, many years, and thank you for your service, and it's great to have you both with us today. And we'll talk about why you're here in just a little bit. We also have in attendance Commissioner Jeremy Oden, Place 1. Place 2, Commissioner Chris Beaker, and I'm Cynthia Almond. We also have on the dais with us Executive Director and Chief Administrative Law Judge John Garner and our Secretary, Mr. Devon Beatty. At this time, we will stand and ask the prayer, and we will remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Dear God, bless our proceedings today. Give us the wisdom to know what is just and the strength to do what is right. Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from our February 3rd, 2026 meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
I think we also need to approve minutes from our special commission meeting held on February 17th, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Don't believe we have any old business to discuss today, so we will move on to new business. And we will begin this morning with our report from the Utility Services Division, Mr. Jeff Johnson. And good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Excuse me. Today I'll be presenting the Utility Services Agenda dated February 24th, 2026, beginning with the Consumer Services Report for electric and gas utilities. For the month of February, we did see a slight increase in Alabama Power, with the majority of those being billing and payment issues. We did see a reduction slightly in both Spire, Alabama and Spire Gulf. Moving to telecom basic service, there was one inquiry. For other retail services and issues, there were a total of 5, and those were all internet and wireless inquiries. For referred inquiries, there were 4 for a total of 10. Moving to the natural gas, the gas agenda from natural gas under docket 18046 and 18328, the division rate report on rate RSE as of January 31, 2026. Based on preliminary figures, the projected RSE return on average common equity for the rate year ending September 30, 2026 was 9.85%, and this is within the range. For Spire Gulf, Inc., docket 28101, division report on rate RSE as of January 31, 2026. Again, based on preliminary figures as of January 31, 2026, the projected RSE return on average common equity for the rate year ending September 30, 2026 was 9.25%. This is slightly up from end of December, but it continues to be below the range. This next item requires a vote. Under docket U 5500, Spire, Alabama, Inc., application for approval of a special services contract with Solutia, Inc. Solutia, Inc. is a longtime customer of Spire, Alabama, and they have had a special service agreement since 1998. They had requested a change in that agreement to something that is more fitting with their current market conditions. We recommend approval.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Mr. Johnston? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move. Second.
Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Olden. Commissioner Olden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Moving to the telecommunication agenda on cancellation and withdrawals. Under docket 31113, Broadbox Selec LLC. This is a voluntary relinquishing of their CPCN, authorizing the provision of telephone retail service, inter-exchange telecommunication service, and resold in facilities-based UNE local exchange services within the state. They currently have no customers in the state of Alabama. We recommend approval.
Thank you. Are there any questions? If not, can I get a motion?
So move. Second.
Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Olden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Pending any questions, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much. All right, next we have the Gas Pipeline Safety Division report. We have Mr. Kevin Key here with us this morning. This is his first time to present, so we only have a few questions for you today.
Okay.
You are the pipeline safety investigator and acting northern supervisor.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're glad to have you with us, and thanks for being here.
Good morning. Today I will be presenting the gas pipeline safety agenda dated February 24th, 2026. This report will reflect GPS activities for the month of January. During the month of January, a total of 62 inspections were conducted utilizing 105 person days. The inspection are as follows. There was 41 construction inspections with 21 follow-up inspections. From the 62 inspections shown above, 0 enforcement letters of notification were issued, leading to 0 non-compliance items. There were 6 non-compliance items corrected during the month of January. One operator contractor training session was conducted in January, covering various combinations of the following topics: plastic fusion, fire response, and regulatory training. That was done on January the 14th, 2026 at Huntsville Utilities, and 2 personnel was trained. There were also 2 state reportable incidents and 0 federal incidents reported during the month of January. On January the 27th, 2026, the Florence Natural Gas Department had a gas overpressure event occur due to natural forces, specifically ice accumulation on the high pressure regulators. It is estimated that about 100 pounds was introduced into 3 plastic service lines. The regulators at both the residence and the regulator station responded appropriately and were observed venting, operating as designed under the conditions. A crew was dispatched to raise the below ground regulator station and perform pressure testing of the affected service lines to safely reestablish the gas service. A leak survey was also conducted and no leaks were identified. The other incident was on January the 22nd, 2026. This was with Spire, Alabama. A directional boring contractor struck a 4-inch main while installing a telecommunication line. The contractor had an active Alabama 811 locate ticket at the time of the incident. Due to cold weather conditions and to prevent service interruptions with temperatures dropping below freezing, Spire installed a 2-inch plastic line above ground as a temporary measure. This action ensured continuity of service and prevented customer outages. All the other items are for informational purposes only, and pending no further questions, This will conclude the gas pipeline safety report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? It's good that we had a good resolution at the Florence Gas Department. It looks, I guess
ma'am.
that was during the extremely cold weather and
It
ice that we
was.
had, and they had a
Yes,
lot
ma'am.
of ice up there.
A lot of it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank
We
you very
appreciate it.
much.
And next, we have Utility Enforcement Division from Miss Amanda Sheehan. Good morning.
Morning. Table's a little close to y'all, so I'm trying to sit down
Thank
a little
you.
bit. All right, good morning. Before you is the Utility Enforcement Division's agenda dated February 24th, which describes activities during January.
Move that microphone over just a... Thank you.
Welcome. First, we'll cover the railway safety section. There were 40 track defects and 1 OP defect with no violations recommended during the month. Looking at page 2, there were 4 incidents reported by the National Response Center in January. There were 2 vehicle strikes, a deceased body was found on railroad property which was believed to be train related, and a 10-car derailment with no injuries or releases. The mainline derailment was investigated by railway safety staff and is still being investigated. There were also 3 incidents and complaints reported. 2 were rough crossing complaints and 1 was a vehicle strike. Moving to the motor carrier services section, the vehicle registration numbers, intrastate applications, and insurance filings were all routine for the month. As of January 31st, 77% of Alabama motor carriers were registered for the 2026 UCR. A household goods tariff was accepted, and staff participated in 2 passenger carrier hearings during the month. And pending any questions, that concludes my report.
And as we've said before, but just will repeat, that when you receive complaints, customer complaints, you all have a follow-up process for that?
Yes, we investigate them. I think the 2 rough crossings, one, the railroad did a temporary fix because they were planning on redoing that crossing anyway. And then the other one is a state highway, so they were getting with ALDOT to make a plan to see about that one getting fixed. But yeah, they follow up and make sure everything's getting done.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next, we have the Electricity Division. I believe we're going to have Mr. John Free, who is our Division Director, Ms. Patricia Smith, Utility Analyst Manager, and Ms. Tanya Champion, Public Utility Analyst Specialist. Now, Tanya, have you presented to us before?
Not to you, but yes, ma'am.
Okay, but not since I've been here. Okay, well, welcome.
Okay.
And
Good morning,
good
Commissioners.
morning.
Morning.
All right. You have before you the Electricity Policy Division's agenda dated February 24th, 2026. Ms. Patricia Smith will present the division's monthly update on rates, RSC and ECR for Alabama Power Company.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
We'll move that microphone closer to you when you speak.
The first item on our agenda is the division's monthly report on rates RSC, ECR, and dockets 18117, 18416, and 18148. Starting with rate RSC, our staff performed the monthly examination of the books and records of Alabama Power Company. It was determined that the reprojected weighted return on average retail common equity was 6.06% for the 12 months ending December 31, 2026. This return is based on 1 month of actual data for January 2026 and 11 months of budget data for February through December 2026. Moving on to ECR, the staff also performed the regular monthly review of Alabama Power's energy costs and determined that rate ECR was under-recovered by approximately $60 million in January 2026. This is our report on rates RSC and ECR.
Any questions for Ms. Smith? Thank you.
Commissioners, the next item is under docket 18005. On February 13, 2026, Alabama Power Company filed with the Alabama Public Service Commission the annual update to rate PAE. under rate PAE, qualifying customers, that have installed an electric generating facility for their own use with nameplate capacity of 100 kW or less receive payment for energy sold to the company in accordance with the Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act of 1978. As with prior revisions, the base charges and energy payments reflect updated cost information and avoided cost data for Alabama Power Company. The company has requested that the proposed modifications become effective for April 2026 billings. The staff recommends approval.
Thank you very much. Staff recommends. Mr. Oden, you have a question?
Yeah. Could you just briefly now, I know we have always been underneath PURPA, and, you know, we've looked at it several times in the past. Give me a good summary of what PURPA is.
Well, PURPA was legislation, statutes that were developed back in 1978. I believe it was the Jimmy Carter administration to encourage renewable generation. And at the time, they stipulated that commissions were to implement a rate for customers for 100 kW and less. For those customers that had 100 kW, greater than 100 kW, you could consider whether or not you wanted to develop a rate, but you didn't have to. And so we went on for years with our rate PAE for 100 kW and less. And as you see, this might be the 47th or 48th revision since that time. But about 7 or 8 years ago, we started seeing more interest. Well, in the meantime, those that were over 100 kW, we just addressed on a case-by-case basis, where they would sell, and they were customers of Alabama Power that had like cogeneration facilities, and they would just sell their excess energy back to Alabama Power at the avoided cost rates, and they were just approved on a case-by-case basis. But in the last 7 or 8 years, we have seen greater interest from not customers of Alabama Power, but qualified facilities that would like to go out and develop these QFs in Alabama and sell their entire output to Alabama Power and stay under the 80 megawatt threshold to be deemed a qualified facility. And then Alabama Power, under that requirement, has to purchase the energy at their avoided cost. So in other words, whatever cost they are displacing is what they would be paying for the energy put on the system. And so with that interest in mind, 7 or 8 years ago, we developed a rate for those greater than 100 kW. You were here, I believe, and we approved the contract for purchase energy for those greater than 100 kW and included an attachment A for those qualified facilities that could go up to 80 megawatts, and then an attachment B form contract for customers of Alabama Power. And so there's about 5 right now that fall in the qualified facility area that are developing 80 megawatt type solar facilities. None are delivering energy at this point in time. One is close, but they aren't delivering energy right now. Under the customers of Alabama Power, there's probably maybe 7 that have excess generation that whenever they don't need it for their own use, they can dump it, we used to call it, dump it onto the electric grid and get paid avoided cost energy rates. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, but I got one follow-up with that. Do we have any authority if it falls underneath the 80 watt, or does it go strictly to the federal purpose?
Say that again?
Do we have the authority if it falls underneath the 80 megawatt, or does it go strictly underneath the PURPA rules?
Do we have any authority if it falls under the 80 megawatt?
Right, so in other words, do we regulate, I should say, the PURPA standings, or is that a federal?
No, that is set in statute.
I thought so.
So that if their facilities meet the requirements of a qualified facility and they meet the 80 megawatt threshold or less, then they can put that power back to Alabama Power, and they have to pay avoided cost rates.
Right, and they have to pay the, the voided cost, but that doesn't come before us necessarily, does it?
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure we understand purple where it's at, and I'm seeing a lot of.
It's a federal regulation.
It's exactly right. That's what I was wanting to get out, I guess, is that it is a federal regulation. It's not a state regulation. But what we're dealing here was the QF facilities, which we do if we want to choose to look at those facilities, correct?
Right.
Okay.
And if they exceed 80, I mean, they could enter into a purchase power agreement with Alabama Power, and if the economics prove viable and in the public interest, then we take a hard look at that and spend a lot of time on those exercises and then come to you with a conclusion.
In a PPA, then our decision is necessarily based on just the purchase of the power by Alabama Power and not necessarily the facility creating the energy, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So when we deal with a PPA and it falls underneath this, the 80 megawatts could take effect, or this procedure that we're talking about this morning.
Well, if we deal with a PPA that is, it could be any number of megawatts if they want to construct a PPA. It could be 80, it could be 70, it could be 180. Then the ones we have done most recently have fallen under the renewable generation certificate, which the commission approved with minimum informational requirements that are to be submitted to the staff and reviewed by the staff and given 30 days to review those, and then a final submittal is made, and then we have to put it on the agenda within, I think it's 30 days.
30 days, I think you're right. Yeah. Now, underneath the PPA, do we have any regulatory authority over the company that is building that, or do we just have the regulatory authority over the PPA?
Just the PPA.
Can you repeat that?
Just the PPA.
Okay, that's what I'm going after, is that sometimes and recently we've been saying that we've got authority over this and we don't.
No.
And that is what I'm trying to get clear with all of this,
Right.
because there's issues coming up that saying that we did this and we did that, but we did not that because it's not in our authority to do so.
No, and we have stated that over and over with various inquiries and to the commissioners, that to be clear, our jurisdiction lies only with the economics of the purchase power agreement, and is that in the public interest, and does it meet the requirements of the renewable generation certificate? That's where our jurisdiction ends.
No authority on siting, no authority on size, no authority on the type of energy, none of that falls in, just the purchase of that power, correct?
No siting, no environmental impacts, no other local authorities or approvals that might be needed for that. That is not our jurisdiction.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I know it took a little bit of time, Madam President, but I appreciate you doing that, because I think that issue does need to be cleared up, and we need to make sure that the public understands what definitely is our authority and what is not our authority in those circumstances. So thank you, Mr. Free, for doing that.
That is for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that, we got one more, right, with Tanya.
I think
I'm
we'll
sorry.
need to.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you got to vote. Yeah, you got to vote.
Yes, that's right. So is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Commissioner Almond,
Yes.
Commissioner Olden,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we'll move to the rate CPE.
Yeah, the last item will be presented by Ms. Tanya Champion.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
You'll move that microphone a little closer to you. I'm sorry.
The last item under our agenda is under docket U-5213. On February 13th, 2026, Alabama Power Company filed with the Alabama Public Service Commission the annual update to rate CPE. Rate CPE applies to qualifying facilities with a nameplate capacity greater than 100 kW seeking to sell energy to Alabama Power Company. Under the Public Utility Regulatory Policies Act of 1978 and its implementing regulations, Alabama Power is obligated to purchase energy from QFs at rates equivalent to the company's avoided cost. Rate CPE has been in effect since March 2017 and the company annually updates avoided cost and other data that are used to set the energy payments established under the rate. The company has proposed updated rates along with changes to the Attachment A standard contract that are discussed more fully in the company's filing letter and in the red line contract included with the filing. The company has requested that the proposed modifications become effective April 1st, 2026, and the staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Are there any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second. Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you. That
Appreciate
completes our
it.
Thank
report.
you. I appreciate that, Sean.
All right, next we'll move to the legal division. I believe we will have a report first by Mr. Luke Bentley, followed by Chad Mason next, and then Judge Garner. So good morning, Mr. Bentley.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I have 8 items on the agenda. The first 7 are motor carrier items, so I'll present them together for one vote, if that's okay. My first item is under docket C21435, petition of Right Development, Inc. for approval of cargo self-insurance. I recommend approval. Under docket C21453, petition of Calera Construction Company, LLC, also for approval of cargo self-insurance. I recommend approval. Under docket C21415, petition of David Huffmaster, DBA D&M and Sons Hauling for reinstatement of motor carrier certificate F4000, which was revoked for failure to maintain proper proof of cargo and liability insurance coverage. They submitted documentation that showed that coverage, which is required by law, is now in effect. I recommend grant of the petition and reinstatement of that certificate. Moving on to page 2, under docket C21390, petition of Pods Enterprises LLC for reinstatement of certificate F4996, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of cargo insurance coverage. They submitted documentation that showed that insurance coverage is now in effect. I recommend grant of the petition and reinstatement of that certificate. Under docket C21405, petition of Warrior Service Co. Inc. for reinstatement of certificates C3425 and F93, which were revoked due to their failure to maintain proper proof of cargo insurance coverage. Petitioner submitted documentation that showed that coverage is now in effect. Recommend grant of the petition and reinstatement of those certificates. Under docket C21339, petition of Michael Brooks, doing business as M&M Trucking, for reinstatement of certificate F5460, which was revoked due to the petitioner's failure to maintain proper proof of cargo and liability insurance coverage. They submitted documentation that showed that coverage required by law is now in effect. I recommend grant of the petition and reinstatement of that certificate. And my last motor carrier item is under docket 32522, petition of Heritage Training and Career Center for cancellation of motor carrier certificate FMP B66. And I recommend grant of cancellation as requested.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? We will now take one vote on these 7 items. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
All right, my last item is under docket 33668. It's Alabama Public Service Commission versus delinquent companies. This is a show cause proceeding to address the failure of numerous entities to pay inspection and supervision fees for the fiscal year 2025, despite numerous notices. So I recommend the establishment of a show cause hearing requiring these offending entities to appear and show cause as to why their certificates should not be revoked for failure to comply with the statutes which require INS fees.
All right, so this will be for multiple companies.
Yes, ma'am, multiple entities.
All right. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Almond.
Yes.
Commissioner Oden.
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mason.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
I have 5 items, and the first 4 are non-controversial motor carrier items, so I'm going to take those together for one vote. First up is docket 33659, unopposed common carrier application of Lake Martin Lift LLC for certificate to transport passengers. A hearing was held on February 23rd, 2026, in which staff participated. The applicant waived its right to report and recommend an order at the hearing. Having met all requirements, a recommended grant of that authority. Next up is docket 33660, unopposed common carrier application of People's Ride Transit Services LLC for certificate to transport passengers. Hearing was held again on February 23rd, 2026, in which staff participated. The applicant waived its right to report and recommend an order at the hearing. Having met all requirements, I recommend a grant of that authority. Next up is docket 33661, unopposed common and contract carrier application of Keys Party and Luxury Transportation LLC for a certificate to transport passengers. Hearing was held on February 23rd, 2026, in which staff participated. And again, the applicant waived its right to report and recommended order at the hearing. And again, having met all requirements, I recommend a grant of that authority. And lastly, a docket 33614, petition of K3C Transportation LLC for an extension of time to make the required filings. I recommend a grant of an additional 90 days to allow applicant to make the required filings.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Almond,
Yes.
Commissioner Oden,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker,
Yes. And my last item is docket 33646, petition of VA Fiber 1 Propco LLC for certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide telecommunication services. A hearing was held on January 13th, 2026, in which commission staff participated. And again, having met all requirements, I recommend approval of that certificate.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
somebody has to motion and or get a second.
So moved.
Commissioner Almond,
Yes.
Commissioner Oden,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I believe next we have Executive Director John Garner, who
Thank you.
will conclude the legal presentation.
Thank you, Madam President. I have the administrative items to present. There are 3 of those. I'll take all those items together. The first item is approval of all pending motor carrier matters. Recommend approval there. The next recommendation concerns a reformatted gas pipeline safety operations plan. I recommend approval of that reformatted plan. And then the second item is a little bit more lengthy. It concerns the replacement of our current docket management system, our STAR system. STAR system has been around for approximately 20 years. It, as you would expect during that time frame, is becoming obsolete and difficult to maintain. Further, it does not comply with the upcoming accessibility requirements that will be in force and effect within a couple of months. Back when he was still here, Mr. Thomas began exploring options to replace the STAR system. He looked around at other providers, and it turns out there are only 2 companies that have implemented systems for more than one public utility commission. That's Dorger Software Architects INC and Salesforce/Pacific Point. Dorger is the company that has been involved with our STAR system since its inception. So they are very familiar with our operations, what we need, and what we require. And then comparing the offerings of both those companies, there was a presentation that was done, and so the staff got to see it firsthand as far as a demonstration of what each system could do. Both systems were excellent, but the Dorger soft product is much less expensive, and when you factor in the experience that Dorger has with our operations for over 20 years, it makes it actually a pretty easy assessment on who gets the contract and who we need to go with. And so the recommendation is reflected on the administrative agenda, is to enter an agreement with Dorgersoft for the system replacement and upgrades in 3 phases for a total initial cost not to exceed $500,000 and a total recurring annual cost not to exceed $175,000. And again, I support that and recommend it.
Thank you very much. It's been a long time coming, as I understand it. So thank you for all the work that's gone into reviewing these different systems and trying to figure out what's best for us up here. It's a large purchase, so it's something we took our time with and hope we have the right selection. And I'm looking forward to, well, not really looking forward to implementing it, but once it's all over with, I think it'll be great. Are there any questions for Judge Garner? I guess we'll need to take a vote on that last item, or
All three.
all three? Okay. Is there a motion to approve all three items?
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Almond,
Yes.
Commissioner Oden,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaker.
Yes.
And that's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. We do have one final item of new business to discuss this morning, and it's a bittersweet item. We are here today, I see people tearing up already on the front row, to recognize Judge John Garner's impending retirement. This is his last commission meeting. He may dance a jig before it's all over today.
I would love to see that.
But he's excited. We're very sad about it, and we hate to see him go, but he has been here for almost 39 years, and so we certainly understand your decision to move on to do other things with your life. But we did want to take a moment to recognize you and all that you have done for the Alabama Public Service Commission, and I do have a resolution to read, but I would like for my co-commissioners to have an opportunity to say anything they'd like to say before I read the resolution.
Well, there's not much to say, but good luck fishing, I guess. But really and truthfully, this man is he's the sole purpose of the Public Service Commission and has been for many years. I am privileged to know him and have been able to work with him over the last 13 years as commissioner. He's directed paths, and then I tried to direct him one way, but he's always good about directing them the way they need to go. So he has been an excellent individual and an excellent friend, and I congratulate him on his move into, do you say hubby duties or retired duties or whatever? But
Private sector.
there you go, private sector. So he is a great friend, and I appreciate his service to the state of Alabama.
Thank you.
Today, we celebrate not just a career, but a legacy. Judge, your dedication, integrity, and steady leadership have made a lasting impact on all of us in this agency. You've truly set the standard and have for sure left big shoes to fill. While your retirement is more than well earned, how long?
Almost 39 years.
39 years. Your influence will always remain. We're grateful for you and excited for your next chapter, and it's been an honor to serve with you. Please don't be a stranger.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Answer your phone when we call you, please.
I will.
And now I would like to read a resolution which we will present. Whereas John A. Garner retired or will retire as of April 1st, 2026, after 39 years of dedicated and indispensable service to the state of Alabama and the Alabama Public Service Commission. And whereas he has been invaluable to the Commission in his role as Chief Administrative Law Judge and Executive Director. And whereas during his extensive career with the Commission, Mr. Garner distinguished himself by professionally executing his many duties, which included presiding over hundreds of formal hearings concerning matters that directly affect Alabama citizens, expertly managing the overall operations of the Commission, intelligently advising commissioners on all manner of compliance matters, astutely representing the Commission before federal and state courts, drafting an uncountable number of orders and rulings, uncannily memorizing gigabytes of dates and figures, effectively wrangling in unruly attorneys in the legal division and in the hearing room, and masterfully leading the Commission like the Nick Saban of the regulatory world. And whereas he has excelled in all assignments presented during his tenure with the commission, has made Alabama a better place through his dedication to the agency's mission, and has had a tremendously positive impact on many people inside and outside of the commission. Now therefore be it resolved by the Alabama Public Service Commission that we heartily congratulate and commend Mr. Garner for his years of outstanding service and dedication to the Alabama Public Service Commission and the state of Alabama, and wish him a well-earned retirement and the best for continued success, happiness, and good health in years to come. Done in Montgomery, Alabama, this third day of March 2026. Signed, Cynthia Lee Allman, President, Jeremy H. Oden, Commissioner, Place 1, Chris V. Beaker III, Commissioner, Place 2, and all of us here at the Alabama Public Service Commission. Judge, I would like to present this to you.
Yeah, you take your seats, please. Keep on moving. Not that formal. The pleasure's been all mine. It's been a fast career. It doesn't seem like I've been here that long, but I've enjoyed what I've done, and having good people to work with and work for has made it that way. And so I've made a lot of good friends and good acquaintances, and that's the part that I will miss the most, is just the people that have made it an enjoyable experience. And so I thank you for all that you guys have done for me, and everyone in this room. A lot of people have helped me along the way, and so I hope I've helped a few of them also. But that's the thing that I'll miss the most. But I've just got the job offer I always wanted, and that's to be a grandpa. And so so it's hard to resist that pull, and that's kind of where I'm headed. And it's a bittersweet moment. And I've been coming to these meetings for almost 39 years. I've only missed 2, and so every first Tuesday of every month from now on, my body clock's going to go off and say, I think I'm supposed to be somewhere else. But yeah, I mean, I missed 2 in all that time. One was when my dad was in his final days, and the other one was when my mom was in her final days. And so, even when I had open heart surgery, I did not miss a commission meeting. And so, it's been an important part of my life, and it's something I'll miss, but it's in good hands, and a lot of good people who are going to carry on, and hopefully I've made some contribution to how they do that. But things will be just fine with the people that we have. I know that's going to be the case, and I'll just watch from afar and enjoy it. So,
Right.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for all the kind words, and appreciate everything.
Even though he forbid us from doing it, we have a little reception following this meeting. Remind me where it is. Your office, Mr. Beaker's office. Everyone is welcome to drop by and wish Judge Garner best wishes. So please join us for that immediately following this meeting. Unless there's any further business, we will be adjourned, and our next regularly scheduled commission meeting is Tuesday, April the 7th. Thank you very much.